The colony of Vera lay quiet beneath the twin moons, their pale light washing over the metallic spires and glass domes. Humans in Chiral had lived here for decades, sharing space but rarely understanding each other. The humans built their homes and workshops with stubborn practicality. The Chiral moved with grace, their tall, pale forms reflecting the moonlight as they whispered among themselves in a language humans could barely comprehend. Liam, a young human scout, climbed a small ridge overlooking the colony. His eyes followed the moons as they traced their slow paths across the sky. He had always loved nights like this, calm and unbroken. The air was cool, carrying a faint metallic tang from the colony's reactors. Tonight, though, something felt different. A thin, strange ripple seemed to stretch across the sky, like a faint crack in the air itself. Liam frowned and rubbed his eyes, thinking it was a trick of the light. From the distance, he could see the Chiral moving differently. Their usual calm had been replaced with nervous gestures. Elders waved their hands in patterns that Liam did not understand, but he sensed urgency. A group of young Chiral children played nearby, unaware of the tension building among their elders. Liam wondered if humans would notice the change in behavior, but most were inside, resting or enjoying their meals. The ripple in the sky widened slowly, pulsing with faint blue light. Liam stepped closer to the ridge edge, trying to get a better look. He felt a tingle in his skin, like static electricity brushing against his arms. A sudden gust of wind rushed through the ridge, carrying with it whispers of warning from the Chiral below. They began gathering their belongings, moving in small groups toward safer areas of the colony. Liam's curiosity outweighed his fear. He called down to a Chiral child who was staring at him wide-eyed. "Hey, what's happening?" he asked. The child pointed at the sky, then made a gesture that Liam could not understand. The child's eyes were wide, reflecting both fear and awe. Liam's heart raced as the ripple in the sky began to glow brighter. A low hum started vibrating through the air. At first, it was soft, almost like a whisper beneath the wind. Then it grew louder, a deep resonant sound that seemed to shake the ground beneath Liam's feet. He looked around and noticed that small rocks on the ridge were trembling, shifting slightly as if the planet itself was reacting. The Chiral elders began chanting in a low, rhythmic tone. Liam did not understand the words, but their urgency was clear. Suddenly, one of the moons flickered violently, casting red light over the colony. Liam blinked, shielding his eyes. The humans inside their homes shouted in confusion, while the Chiral froze, staring at the sky with wide, frightened eyes. The ripple now stretched like a wound across the heavens, and through it, something bright, almost blinding, began to emerge. Liam felt a surge of adrenaline. He ran down the ridge toward the colony, his boots pounding against the hard ground. He passed clusters of Chiral moving quickly, some carrying their children, others grabbing equipment. Fear was visible on their faces, something he had rarely seen. Humans were coming out of their homes now, drawn by the strange glow and humming sound. They looked up, confused and worried, trying to understand what their eyes told them. The ripple in the sky widened further, and Liam could see it crackle with energy. Lightning-like streaks danced across it, casting shifting shadows over the colony. He stopped near the center of the human settlement and looked back at the ridge. From there, he could see the Chiral elders forming a circle, hands raised toward the rift in the sky. Their chanting became louder, more desperate, as if they were trying to hold something back. Liam's own fear was tempered by curiosity. He had explored dangerous caves, faced storms, and even witnessed meteor strikes, but nothing like this had ever appeared before him. The ripple pulsed, almost breathing, as if the sky itself was alive. The humans nearby whispered to each other, unsure of what to do. Many pointed at the rift, their voices filled with disbelief and wonder. Then, with a sudden and violent flash, the sky seemed to shatter. Light erupted in all directions, reflecting in the windows and domes across the colony. A deep, resonant vibration traveled through the ground, causing equipment to rattle. Some humans fell to their knees, shielding their eyes. The Carol screamed in fear, clutching their children and scattering in panic. Liam stood his ground, heart pounding, trying to make sense of the impossible sight before him. The shattered sky glowed with energy, strange and alive. Liam knew in that moment that the night he had admired would never be the same. Something had come through the rift, something powerful and unknown. Humans might not understand it yet, and the Chiral clearly feared it, but Liam felt a spark inside him. He realized that the coming events would demand courage, quick thinking, and perhaps something unique that humans had always possessed: the ability to act when others froze. The sky above Vera remained fractured, glowing with strange energy that made the air shimmer. Liam stood near the center of the colony, watching the humans in Cairo react to the chaos. The Chiral ran in all directions, their pale forms moving with speed and grace, carrying children and belongings. Humans were slower, confused by the sudden change. Some froze in place, unsure whether to help or hide. Liam knew that hesitation could cost them all. A low, vibrating hum rolled across the colony, growing louder with each second. It was not a sound from any machine Liam had ever heard. The ground beneath his feet trembled, forcing him to hold on to a railing for balance. He looked up at the rift in the sky, where crackling streaks of energy twisted and shifted. From it emerged forms unlike anything he had seen before. They were massive, dark silhouettes that absorbed the glowing light around them. Their edges pulsed with strange energy, as if the rift itself had shaped them. The Chiral screamed in fear, scattering in all directions. Some of them tried to activate their floating devices, hoping to fight back, but the machines sputtered and failed. Liam noticed one young Chiral, smaller than the rest, frozen with terror in the middle of the street. Without thinking, he ran to her side, grabbed her hand, and pulled her towards safety. The girl looked up at him, her eyes wide with fear, but her body followed without question. Liam felt a surge of determination. Humans began shouting to each other, trying to organize a response. Tools, lights, and equipment were grabbed hastily, but no one seemed to know how to confront the strange creatures emerging from the sky. Liam realized that curiosity alone would not be enough. The creatures were moving slowly, but every pulse from the rift made the air heavy and dangerous. Something about the energy seemed alive, aware of the humans in Cairo below. Liam scanned the creatures, noticing that they avoided getting too close to him. He took a cautious step forward, and then another. The air felt charged around him, yet the shadows of the creatures seemed hesitant, almost afraid. Liam tested his instinct by raising a metal rod, waving it through the energy air. A faint wave of the creature's movement reacted to it, recoiling slightly. His heart pounded. Humans had something that the creatures did not understand. Chiral elders began chanting louder, trying to warn their people, to direct them, but fear had taken over. Children cried as families ran. Liam grabbed a small crate, using it to shield a group of humans as he directed them toward a more secure area. He realized that humans were not as fast as the Chiral, but they had courage and quick thinking. In this moment, that might matter more than speed. From the rift, one of the massive creatures moved closer to the colony. It seemed to examine this humans, its glowing edges pulsating with light. Liam noticed a pattern in its movement. Each pulse of energy made the ground vibrate, and each vibration caused the creature to hesitate for a moment. Using instinct, he stepped forward, waving his arms, and guided a small group of humans and Chiral out of the creature's path. They followed him without question, trusting his courage. He paused at the edge of a plaza, looking up at the sky again. The rift continued to pulse and crackle, forming new shapes as the creatures moved. Liam felt a strange connection to the energy. Humans had always survived by reacting when others could not. That instinct, that unpredictability, seemed to confuse the creatures. If they attacked directly, they could be resisted. But if the humans stayed calm and clever, there was a chance to survive. Nearby, a group of chiral scientists attempted to activate a containment device, but the energy from the rift interfered with their controls. Liam ran to them, shouting instructions and moving debris that blocked the machines. The chiral looked at him with surprise and hesitation. One of them, an elder named Vern, finally nodded, realizing that humans might have a unique role to play. Liam worked quickly, guiding both humans and chiral to protect the machines while keeping the children safe. The creatures began to move closer to the colony center, their dark forms stretching like shadows over the buildings. Liam noticed that when he positioned himself in certain places, they avoided moving toward him. He realized that the creatures reacted to human energy, or perhaps human will. Using this knowledge, he directed more people, creating safe paths. Through the chaos, the chiral began to follow his lead, learning that courage and quick thinking could hold back the fear even more effectively than advanced technology did. As the night deepened, the rift glowed brighter, and the creatures' movements became more aggressive. Liam stood in the center of a small plaza, breathing heavily but determined. Around him, humans and chiral were starting to trust each other, united by the need to survive. Liam knew that the coming hours would test them all. The shattered sky had changed everything, and the colony would never be the same. Yet, in that chaos, he also realized something powerful. Humans had a strength that no machine or magic could replicate. Their courage, curiosity, and instinct could face even the unknown. The energy from the rift pulsed faster now, and the creatures that emerged from it grew larger. Their dark forms moved with a slow, deliberate grace, stretching over the colony like living shadows. The air was thick with tension, and the humans and chiral alike felt the weight of danger pressing down on them. Liam stood near the plaza's edge, breathing heavily, his eyes fixed on the creatures. A group of chiral had taken shelter behind their floating devices, trying to activate energy shields. Sparks flew as the machines struggled against the rift's power. Liam could see the fear in their eyes. They were skilled and intelligent, but the creatures seemed immune to most of their technology. Liam felt the same fear, but he refused to show it. His instinct was clear: to move forward, not run. Suddenly, one of the massive creatures descended closer to the plaza. Its edges glowed a pale violet, and it seemed to observe the humans as if deciding their fate. The chiral around Liam screamed, scattering in panic. Children cried out, and some humans froze, unsure where to go. Liam clenched his fists, feeling the strange energy in the air. He realized that these creatures were cautious. They reacted to movement, to intent, to presence. Without thinking, he stepped forward toward the creature. The ground vibrated beneath him, and energy shrieked across the plaza, brushing past his arms. The creature recoiled slightly, as if startled. Liam's heart raced, but he focused. He waved his arms and took another step. Slowly, he began to notice a pattern. The creature avoided him, moving in a circle rather than toward him. Liam's courage gave him an idea. He ran toward the edge of the plaza, guiding a small group of humans and chiral away from the creature's path. The chiral hesitated at first, but when they saw the humans moving confidently, they followed. Liam's instincts told him where the safest paths were, and the group followed without question. Children clung to him or to their parents, trusting. The humans to lead them. The creature paused, tilting its massive form as if confused. Liam realized that the humans' energy, their unpredictability, was confusing the being. It did not understand them. Unlike the structured patterns of chiral technology or the precise movements of their machines, humans were flexible. Liam adjusted his position, taking small steps and waving his arms, guiding the creature away from a cluster of homes nearby. A group of chiral scientists attempted to use a device to repel the creatures. Liam ran to them, pointing at a console that had been damaged by energy surges. "You need to adjust the pulse timing," he shouted. One of the chiral looked at him in surprise but nodded, trusting his judgment. Liam guided their hands, showing them the rhythm that matched the creature's movements. With careful timing, the device activated, sending a low-energy pulse through the plaza. The creature hissed and recoiled, retreating slightly. Liam felt a rush of hope. He realized that humans had a unique advantage: their intuition, their ability to act without complete information, allowed them to interact with the creatures in ways that technology alone could not. He moved closer, watching the edges of the being, noticing small reactions to his presence. From the rift, more creatures began to emerge. They were slower, observing the first one as it tested the humans. Liam ran between groups, directing humans and chiral, ensuring that they stayed out of danger while still moving strategically. He felt exhaustion in his legs and arms, but he refused to stop. Every second counted. A young chiral child had wandered too close to a creature. Liam sprinted, scooping the child into his arms just as the being turned toward them. The child's eyes were wide with fear, but Liam held him tightly, moving quickly to safety. The creature hesitated, then shifted direction, confused by the Tuesday-the-Sisbus. Humans' bravery and speed. Liam realized that courage, instinct, and quick decision-making were tools that no alien force could predict. By the edge of the plaza, a small group of humans and chiral had gathered behind a barricade. Liam positioned himself between them and the nearest creature, guiding their movements and giving clear commands. The chiral began to mimic his actions, slowly gaining confidence. For the first time, humans and chiral worked together seamlessly. The creature hissed and retreated toward the rift, but it did not leave entirely. Liam knew this was only the beginning. The beings had emerged for a reason, and the rift continued to pulse with energy. The humans' instincts had given them a small advantage, but survival would demand more courage, quick thinking, and unity. Liam looked around at the frightened yet determined faces of both humans and chiral. He understood that this night would test everyone, and that humans might hold the key to facing what came next. The sky above Vera still shimmered with the broken light of the rift. The creatures from it moved carefully, watching the humans and chiral below. Liam stood in the center of the colony, breathing heavily. The first encounter had been terrifying, but it had also shown him something important. Humans could affect the creatures in ways the chiral could not. Now it was time to plan. To prepare for what was coming next, the chiral elders gathered in a circle near the colony's central plaza. Their pale forms glowed faintly in the moonlight. Liam approached cautiously. They looked at him with a mixture of skepticism and hope. One of the elders, Vern, spoke in a soft but urgent tone. Liam could not understand the words fully, but the gestures and the tension made the meaning clear. They needed a plan to protect the colony, and they needed him to lead humans in a way the chiral could not. Liam nodded. He felt the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders, but he did not hesitate. He called the humans nearby and explained what he had seen. "These creatures react to us differently than they react to your machines," he said. "We can guide them, distract them, and give the scientists time to work on closing the rift. But we have to act fast and together." A group of humans and chiral began moving supplies and barricades. Liam instructed them to focus on mobility rather than just strength. Humans could run, climb, and improvise in ways machines and technology could not. The chiral were skilled with energy shields and precise tools. but their rigidity made them slower in reacting to sudden changes. Liam realized that combining human intuition with chiral precision could create a balanced defense. The first step was mapping the creature's behavior. Liam had noticed that they moved cautiously around humans, avoiding direct contact. He directed small groups of humans to act as guides, leading creatures along predictable paths to keep them away from critical areas. Some humans climbed rooftops to observe, while others stayed close to vulnerable equipment and children. Liam coordinated the movements carefully, giving clear instructions and checking constantly for mistakes. Meanwhile, the chiral scientists tried again to stabilize their containment devices. Liam ran between them, clearing debris and helping them adjust controls. He realized that timing was crucial. The humans' instinctive actions could create the small pauses the devices needed to function. When a minor creature approached too quickly, Liam waved his arms and moved in ways that confused it, giving the scientists just enough time to activate their equipment. Tension filled the air. Every time a creature emerged from the rift, humans and chiral reacted together. Liam guided them through the panic, showing that fear could be managed. He noticed a young chiral girl, Myra, trying to copy his movements. Her hands trembled at first, but Liam nodded to encourage her. She soon began leading a small group herself, carefully directing creatures along safe paths. Liam realized that humans were not the only ones learning. The chiral could adapt too, if someone showed them the way. The creatures grew bolder as the night continued, one massive being moved directly toward the colony's center. Humans and chiral froze for a moment, unsure what to do. Liam stepped forward, drawing its attention. He ran in the controlled pattern, waving his arms and guiding it along a longer path that avoided the central plaza. The creature hesitated, then followed his movements, responding to the unpredictability humans naturally displayed. Liam shouted instructions to both humans and chiral. Move left. Stay calm. Keep children safe. Watch your steps. His voice carried across the plaza, calm but commanding. The group followed him, moving as one unit. Barricades were shifted, paths were cleared, and vulnerable points were protected. Every action was deliberate, every step coordinated. Liam realized that humans could lead in ways the chiral technology alone never could. By dawn, the first small victories began to show. Some creatures had retreated back toward the rift, confused and cautious. The humans had proven they could guide them without direct confrontation. The chiral scientists had managed to stabilize one containment device, though it still required precise timing to fully work. Liam felt exhaustion in his body, but determination burned stronger than ever. He gathered both humans and chiral in a Tilly's small circle near the plaza. "We can fight this," he said firmly, "but we have to trust each other. Humans, your instincts matter. Chiral, your tools matter. Together, we are stronger than the rift or its creatures. We survive by thinking, acting, and staying calm." Mira nodded beside him, her confidence growing. The others began to feel the same resolve. The shattered sky above them pulsed, but now the humans and chiral faced it with purpose. Liam knew the battle was far from over. The creatures would return, and the rift's energy would not weaken on its own. But for the first time, the colony had a plan. Humans had proven their courage and intuition could guide the chiral and protect their homes. Together, they could face the unknown, and the shattered night might yet be survived. The shattered sky above Vera glowed brighter as the rift pulsed with energy. Liam and the humans moved quickly through the colony, setting up traps and creating paths to guide the creatures away from critical areas. The chiral watched closely, learning from his actions. Liam knew that humans had a unique advantage: their ability to improvise and use simple tools in unexpected ways. He led a small group to the edge of the colony, where the buildings ended and rocky hills began. Here, Liam could set up natural traps using rocks, slopes, and gravity. He directed the humans to push boulders into narrow paths so that the creatures would stumble or slow down. "Watch the patterns," he told them. "These creatures follow the energy in predictable ways. We can guide them where we want." The humans worked efficiently, following Liam's instructions and moving quickly despite the fear in the air. Meanwhile, Mira and a few Kirel helped set up energy nets connected to the colony's remaining power. Liam showed them how small disruptions could confuse the creatures, forcing them to pause or retreat. The Kirel had never considered using their machines in such flexible ways. Their technology was precise but rigid, while human improvisation made the devices far more effective. The first creature approached, a massive shadow stretching over the rocky slope. Liam signaled to a human on a nearby ridge, who triggered a boulder trap. The creature stumbled, swaying unsteadily before recovering. Liam ran ahead, guiding it through a narrow path where additional traps slowed it further. The humans cheered quietly as the creature moved exactly as planned, its dark form hesitant and confused. Another creature appeared, larger and faster. Liam realized they would need to act in coordination. He split the humans into small teams, each with a specific task. One team moved rocks and debris to block paths. Another created noise to distract the creature, while Liam and Mira guided it toward an area where energy nets could trap it temporarily. The Chiral observed, gradually learning to adjust their machines in rhythm with the humans' movements. Liam's instincts guided him perfectly. He ran ahead, waving his arms and moving unpredictably. The creature followed, unable to understand the human's sudden changes in direction. Liam noticed that the human presence caused hesitation, which the chiral devices could exploit. He directed a human to release a small net, which activated just as the creature stumbled. The energy pulse held it in place for a moment, long enough for the humans to guide it toward a natural canyon. Mira followed Liam, using her chiral abilities to help stabilize the energy nets. She moved with precision, adjusting controls while keeping her attention on the creature. Liam smiled, realizing that humans and Chiral were becoming a team. The creatures could not predict human improvisation, and the Chiral's technology amplified their efforts. Together, they created a strategy stronger than either could manage alone. Hours passed, and the creatures continued to emerge from the rift. Each time, Liam guided the humans with calm determination. They moved through traps, lured creatures into controlled areas, and kept the children and vulnerable humans safe. The Chiral began to follow their lead without hesitation, learning to adapt instead of relying solely on machines. Liam noticed the confidence building in both humans and Chiral. Fear was still present, but courage and coordination were stronger. One particularly large creature advanced toward the colony's central plaza. Liam directed two teams to create distractions with noise and movement while he ran in front of it, guiding it toward a rocky chasm. The creature stumbled several times, slowing its advance. The humans in Chiral moved quickly, activating energy pulses to push it further along the path Liam had chosen. It was exhausting work, but it worked. The creature paused at the chasm's edge, unsure of where to step. Liam used a final wave of motion to guide it over the edge into a safe trap zone where it could not harm the colony. The humans cheered, and the Chiral looked at them with new respect. Liam's improvisation had shown that courage and quick thinking could protect the colony. Mira ran to him, smiling. "You humans are strange," she said, her voice filled with admiration. "But you can fight in ways we never imagined." Liam nodded, understanding that humans and Chiral had learned something important about each other that night. As dawn approached, the rift pulsed less violently, though the creatures remained a threat. Liam and his teams took a brief moment to rest, checking the traps and ensuring that the humans and Chiral were ready for the next wave. The shattered night had tested them all, but human ingenuity and determination had proven essential. The colony had survived because humans had acted. With courage, intelligence, and creativity, Liam looked up at the fractured sky. He knew the rift was not yet closed, and more creatures could emerge. But he also knew that humans had a role no one else could play. With instinct, courage, and ingenuity, they could face the unknown and guide the Chiral through danger. The shattered night had become a test, and humans were showing that they could rise to meet it, protecting not only themselves, but those who had once doubted their strength. The shattered sky pulsed with bright energy as Liam and the humans moved toward the rift. The creatures had grown more aggressive, swarming near the colony's center. The Chiral scientists had prepared the containment devices, but they needed precise timing and coordination to activate them. Liam understood that humans would have to guide the creatures away and give the Chiral the chance to finish their work. Liam stood at the edge of a wide plaza, his eyes scanning the movements of the largest creature. It was massive, its dark form stretching across the plaza and blocking the light of the twin moons. The humans behind him looked nervous, but Liam's calm determination encouraged them. "Stay focused," he said. "We guide them. We control their path. Follow my lead." The humans nodded, gripping tools and makeshift devices that would help distract or redirect the creatures. The first creature moved forward, its edges glowing with energy. Liam ran in a zigzag pattern, calling to a small group of humans to follow him. He guided the creature toward a narrow canyon outside the colony, where boulders and slopes would slow it down. The creature hesitated, confused by Liam's unpredictable movement. He used every instinct he had, darting left and right, drawing its attention while keeping the humans behind him safe. Nearby, Myra and a team of Chiral adjusted the energy nets. Their devices hummed, waiting for the right moment. Liam signaled with a wave of his hand, and the humans activated a series of simple but effective traps along the canyon path. Rocks rolled, small pits opened, and energy pulses flashed, all designed to confuse and delay the creature. Each trap worked perfectly, slowing the alien's advance just enough for the Chiral to prepare the containment device. Another creature emerged from the rift, larger than any seen before. It moved quickly, heading toward the central plaza. Liam realized that a single human could not guide it alone. He split his group, sending teams to different paths. One team created noise to distract it, while another guided it toward the traps. Liam ran in front, drawing the creature along the route he had prepared. Its dark edges pulsed rapidly as it reacted to the human's unpredictable actions. The containment device hummed with energy, ready to activate, but it required precise timing. Liam noticed a pattern in the creature's movement. Every time they paused or hesitated, the device could send a pulse that would weaken their energy. Liam used his instincts to create those moments. He waved his arms, darted forward, and guided the creatures to positions where the devices could work. The Chiral watched in awe, realizing that human intuition was the key to synchronizing their technology with the creature's movements. The largest creature stumbled into the canyon, guided perfectly by Liam and the humans. Rocks tumbled, forcing it to slow down. Energy nets fired, holding it in place just long enough for the Chiral to activate a containment pulse. Light flashed across the canyon as the device emitted a strong, controlled wave. The creature hissed, recoiled, and then vanished into a faint shimmer before collapsing safely at the canyon's edge. Liam did not stop. More creatures continued to emerge, and he moved quickly between paths, guiding humans and coordinating with the Chiral. He shouted instructions, using clear signals that everyone could follow even in the chaos. Children and vulnerable humans were kept safe in protected zones, while the rest worked with precision under his leadership. Every human action created openings for the Chiral devices to work. and every pause in the creature's movement brought the colony closer to safety. Hours passed and the rift pulsed less violently. Liam noticed that fewer creatures were emerging, and those that did seemed weaker, hesitant to approach the colony. The humans had successfully guided them away and allowed the chiral containment devices to work at full strength. Liam felt exhaustion in his body, but the sight of the colony slowly stabilizing filled him with determination. Finally, the largest rift pulse arrived. A wave of energy spread across the plaza, but the humans and chiral were ready. Liam moved into the center, signaling to all teams. Humans guided the remaining creatures into traps and safe zones, while the chiral activated the main containment pulse. The energy from the device spread, connecting with the natural patterns the humans had created. The rift's edges shimmered, twisted, and then slowly began to close. The creatures recoiled and faded, one by one, until the rift was finally sealed. Silence fell across the colony. Liam stood in the plaza, breathing heavily, surrounded by humans. And Chiral. They looked at him with a mixture of exhaustion and admiration. Myra approached him, her eyes bright. "You humans are strange," she said softly. "But your courage and instinct saved us all." Liam nodded, feeling the weight of their words. The shattered night was ending, but its memory would remain. Humans had shown that courage, quick thinking, and unity could face the unknown. The Chiral had learned to trust them, and together they had survived what seemed impossible. Liam looked up at the sky, now calm and dark again, knowing that the universe was full of unknown dangers. But humans had proven that they could rise to meet them with strength, intelligence, and heart. The sky over Vera was calm again, the shattered light of the rift gone. The colony lay quiet, the distant hum of machines the only reminder of the night's chaos. Liam walked through the plaza, his boots crunching over scattered rocks and debris. Humans and Chiral worked side by side, repairing damage and checking the containment devices. A sense of relief, mixed with exhaustion, filled the air. Liam stopped near the center of the colony and looked around. The humans had done their part, guiding creatures and setting traps, while the Chiral had activated the devices that sealed the rift. Together, they had survived what no one thought possible. The chiral elders approached, their pale forms moving with grace and respect. Vern, the elder who had first noticed Liam's courage, stepped forward. "You humans have shown strength beyond what we believed," Vern said, his voice calm but full of admiration. "Your instincts, your courage, and your ability to act in chaos have saved us all." Liam felt a mix of pride and humility. He knew that humans had faced danger before, but this night had been different. It had tested not only strength, but creativity and unity. Myra appeared beside him, smiling. "You were amazing," she said softly. "We learned from you tonight. We saw that humans can act in ways no machine or spell could match." Liam nodded. He realized that the bond between humans and Chiral had grown stronger. Fear had been replaced by trust, and distrust had been replaced by respect. The humans were gathering supplies and helping repair structures. Liam moved among them, offering guidance and encouragement. Children laughed quietly as they helped, carrying small tools or clearing debris. The adults exchanged stories of what had happened, pointing out how Liam's quick thinking had saved lives. For the first time, humans were recognized not only as residents of Vera, but as protectors and leaders. The Chiral elders called for a council in the central plaza. Humans gathered, curious to see what would happen next. Vern spoke to the assembled group. "Tonight, we witnessed something new. Humans can face the unknown with courage, creativity, and quick thinking. From now on, our species will work together as equals. We have learned that strength is not only in machines or knowledge, but also in instinct and action." Applause and quiet murmurs spread through the plaza. Humans in Cairo exchanged looks, realizing that something profound had changed. Liam felt the weight of responsibility settle on him, but it was different now. It was not fear or panic. It was a sense of purpose. Humans had shown that they could rise to challenges that even advanced technology could not solve. Liam walked to the edge of the colony, looking out at the hills and plains bathed in moonlight. The rift was gone, leaving only the natural beauty of Vera. He thought of the creatures, strange and powerful, now safely guided away or contained. Humans had faced the unknown and had succeeded, proving their value not only in survival but in leadership. Myra joined him, standing quietly beside him. "You changed everything tonight," she said. "Not just for humans, but for all of us." Liam nodded, realizing how true her words were. Humans had earned respect not by technology or skill alone, but by courage, intuition, and the ability to act when others hesitated. The colony slowly returned to normal. Repairs were made, supplies were restored, and children returned to play safely. Humans in Cairo began sharing stories of their cooperation, recounting moments where instinct and planning had saved lives. Liam listened, smiling quietly. He knew that the bond forged in crisis would last. The shattered night had ended, but its lessons remained alive in the hearts of everyone. As the first light of the twin moons faded, the sky brightened with the soft colors of dawn. Liam stood on a small hill, watching the sunrise over Vera. He felt a deep sense of accomplishment. Humans had faced fear and uncertainty and had risen to meet it. Their courage had protected not only themselves, but also the Cairo. Their actions had proven that humans were a force to be respected, a species capable of facing the unknown and shaping their own destiny. The Cairo approached, standing beside him in quiet solidarity. Myra smiled, her eyes bright with trust. "The future is different now," she said. "We will face what comes next together, as equals." Liam nodded, understanding the truth in her words. Humans had shown that their spirit, their courage, and their ingenuity were powerful weapons, capable of guiding even the most advanced civilizations through the darkest nights. Liam took a deep breath and looked at the horizon. The colony of Vera was safe for now. The shattered night had ended, but the memory of courage, trust, and unity would remain forever. Humans had earned their place among the stars, not through strength alone, but through heart, instinct, and the willingness to face the unknown when others could not. And for the first time, both humans and Kirill knew that together, they could survive anything.